Hello everyone! We are going to present our discussion about the article The Linguistic of Slang Understanding Gen Z's Digital Language on TikTok. Before we start, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Neilatuz Zahra with last 3 digit students number 015.
And my name is Avrilia Zalfha with my student number 123241003.
Let's begin with the background. Digital technology has transformed how we communicate, especially in social media. Generation Z, who grew up with the internet, are active users on such platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and notably TikTok. This study focuses on how Gen Z uses slang on TikTok within the Indonesian context. Next. The article identifies characteristics of digital slangs. It transition trend following and rapidly changing, and it deep social meaning beyond communication. It also functions as symbol of group identity, way of showing familiarity, and as a form of resistance against standard formal language. Next. According to Maharani et al., slang on TikTok signals social affiliation and togetherness. Jabin and Nawas add that slang is heavily influenced by meme culture and viral trends and the fast-paced nature of audiovisual platforms. In other words, TikTok's format actively shapes how slang is born and spreads. Next. In Indonesia, this phenomenon has unique shapes. Gen Z users mix Indonesian, English, and local language. It also reflects flexible and creative self-expression. It also represents dual identity, which is being part of local culture while also participating on global community. Next. The research has 3 main objectives, which are, the first one is analyze characteristics of Gen Z slang use on TikTok. The second one is identify factors influencing the formation and spread of slang among youth. And the third one, examine how slang on TikTok shapes users' social and cultural identity. Next. The researchers argue that most slang studies focus on Western contexts, such as Twitter and Instagram. TikTok, which has video, audio, text, and gestures, offers a unique underexplored context. The researchers also noted that limited research on Indonesian teenager slang on TikTok potential to show change in digital era within Indonesian culture.
So the next slide we have the purpose. So the purpose of this study is divided into 3 main points. So the first one is identifies types of slang, which is to classify different forms of slang such as abbreviations, acronyms, and phrases used by Gen Z. And the second one is analyze functions of slang, which is to understand how slang is used for communication, such as expressing emotions, humor, and so on. And the third one, we have explore sociocultural meaning, which is to examine how slang reflects identity, culture, and group belonging in digital spaces. Next slide. For the methodology, so this study uses a qualitative descriptive approach. So the data were collected from TikTok videos and comments, interviews with Gen Z users, and also a literature review. And from these sources, the researchers identified 32 slang terms. Next slide. So for the key findings, we got the first one, we have abbreviations like TBH or ILY or to be honest or I love you, which is certain forms of phrases for faster communication. And the second one, we have acronyms like LMAO and OMG, formed from initial letters commonly used online. And the third one, we have phrases like spill the tea or red flag. So the expressions with specific cultural meanings. And the last one, we have clip words like the Lulu, shortened or modified words with new meanings. Next slide. So the next slide we have functions of slang. So we found four functions. Like the first one, express emotions to show feelings like excitement, surprise, or frustration. And the second one we have create humor, like which is to make communication more fun and entertaining. Build social bonding, like to create closeness and connection between users. And the last one we have show identity, which is to express group belonging and personal identity. Next slide. Code mixing in slang usage, and we use usually use of English plus Indonesian, or we call it as Indoglis, mixing languages in one expression. For example, like delulu banget kamu, English slang combined with Indonesian sentence. And for the function in communication, which is make expressions more relatable and expressive. Next slide. Role of TikTok. So the first one for the role of TikTok is algorithm spread slang quickly, which is TikTok's For You page helps slang reach a wide audience rapidly. And the second one, we have repetition increases usage, like to understand how slang is used for communication, such as expressing emotion, humor, and so on. Next slide.
Now, let me offer a balanced critique. On the strength side, the topic is timely and relevant. The study uses methodological triangulation, which are observation, interviews, and document analysis, which adds credibility. The sociolinguistics framework are clear, and the localized focus on Indonesia is genuine contribution. The data set of 32 slang terms is rich and well documented. However, there are weaknesses. The sample size is not clearly stated, and there is no demographic breakdown by age, region, or gender. So generalizability is limited. The study lack of quantitative supports. Its surface level analysis of form, its limited critical engagement with literature and overclaiming novelty. Ethical consideration like informed consent are absent. Next. Despite this limitation, this article is highly relevant to English linguistics. It contributes to digital sociolinguistics in platform effect on language change. It aligns with World English's English as a resource not a target. It also demonstrates semantic change, as an example, red flag and toxic relationship. And from a pragmatic perspective, slang is used for stance taking and identity marking. Next. The relevance to English literature and cultural studies are slang contributes to digital narratives and persona constructions like POV and Delulu. It also shows meme intertextuality as a relation. Slang can be studied as contemporary folklore or culture archive. Next.
So for the last slide, we have the conclusion. So the conclusion is Gen Z slang on TikTok shows how language evolves in the digital era. It is used to express emotions, build identity, and create social connections. And also TikTok also plays a key role in spreading slang quickly and making it part of everyday communications.
That's all from us. Thank you.